Thank you for living the stream with us. He is Paulie Malignaggi. I'm Mauro Ranello. We are coming to you from the main plaza in historic San Antonio, the geographic and cultural center of this picturesque city. In fact, we're in the shadow of one of the oldest active cathedrals in America, the San Fernando Cathedral. We will weigh in with our thoughts of Saturday night's championship doubleheader on Showtime Championship Boxing as Mikey Garcia, three-division champion, current lightweight champion, daring to be great, stepping up for the third straight time at 140, but this time challenging the undefeated Sergey Lipinets for his 140-pound title. We will kick things off at 10:15 p.m. Eastern and Pacific with a title to fill another vacancy at 140 as Rances Barthelemy will be in a rematch with Kirill Relik. Their first meeting, well, one of the more outrageous decisions of 2017. So we will weigh in with our thoughts, but right now it's time for the official weigh-in. Let's go to Hall of Fame ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you, and we welcome you to the official weigh-in for our special event taking place tomorrow night at the Freeman Coliseum here in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. As Premier Boxing Champions presents a big night of action coming your way, and it's all brought to you by Ringstar Sports and TGB Promotions in association with Leja Bata Promotions and Showtime, as sponsored by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach, and Casa Noble Tequila, the Noble Pursuit. Well, fans, our opening attraction on Showtime Championship Boxing is brought to you in association with Warriors Boxing and is a rematch for the WBA Vacant Super Lightweight Championship of the World. Please welcome first to the stage from Minsk, Belarus, his record of 21 wins and 2 losses. He has 19 big wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the hard-hitting WBA number 2 ranked contender, the Mad Bee, Kirill Relik.
It is rare that a fighter gets a championship opportunity after losing back-to-back fights, but Relik snake-bitten
and now we
in his
invite
defeats.
His opponent to the stage at this time, fighting out of Las Vegas by way of Cuba. He is undefeated in his campaign with a record of 26 wins, no losses, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked the WBA number 1 contender. Please welcome the former 2-division weight champion of the world, Kid Blast, Rances Barthelemy.
Last May, Barthelemy won a controversial 12-round decision against Relik.
Now we're ready to invite our fighters to the scale at this time. Once again, looking to avenge his loss. This is his first attempt at a world title. Please welcome the number 2 ranked super lightweight in the world, Kirill Relik.
Relik getting a second opportunity at the same title, lost a disputed decision to Ricky Burns across the pond, and then, well, he feels the victory was stolen from him.
140 pounds for Kirill Relik, right at the limit of 140 pounds. And now his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, once again, he is ranked the number 1 contender in his 5th world title appearance. The former 2-division champion of the world, the undefeated Rances Barthelemy.
Barthelemy attempting to become the first Cuban to win 3 titles in as many weight classes.
139.5 for Barthelemy, 139.5. We have a fight. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBA Super Lightweight Championship of the World.
So it is official. Barthelemy and Relik will run it back on Saturday night. The WBA, after considering the outrageous scoring of the first fight, demanded an immediate rematch, and we are getting it.
Well, Relik really can't catch a lot of these breaks, man. I mean, a controversial decision against Burns, controversial decision against Barthelemy, and this is why it's one of those situations where even though he's lost 2 in a row, he's getting a title shot because it's almost been unfair, and as you said, Mo, snake-bitten, key word.
Barthelemy brought in Bob Santos, strength and conditioning coach. He admitted he wasn't at his best in their first fight. Felt sluggish, didn't think his legs were under him.
Ladies and gentlemen, facing each other for the final time before they meet in the center of the ring tomorrow night. Rances Barthelemy versus Kirill Relik. 12 rounds for the vacant WBA Super Lightweight Championship of the World.
Relik says he's going to be much more aggressive in the rematch.
Well, I think aggression is a key to his success. I think in the first fight, when he did have the success, it was his aggressiveness and when he was able to put punches together.
The first of our two 140-pound championship fights coming your way.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to bring our fighters to the stage for the main event of the evening from the main plaza in San Antonio. Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the main event, brought to you by Ringstar Sports and TGB Promotions in association with Leja Bataan Promotions and Showtime, as sponsored by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach, and Casa Noble Tequila, the Noble Pursuit. Our main event on Showtime Championship Boxing is a battle of the undefeated 140-pounders, 12 rounds of action for the IBF Jr Welterweight Championship of the World. First, we invite to the stage the challenger from Moreno Valley, California. A tremendous record of 37 wins, no losses, with 30 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently the lightweight world champion, moving up in weight to challenge for his 4th division world title. Please welcome the undefeated Mikey Garcia.
Garcia 3-0 with 2 wins inside the distance since he ended his self-imposed 2.5-year sabbatical following issues with his former promoter.
To the stage at this time, the defending world champion, fighting out of Beverly Hills by way of Kazakhstan and Russia. He also is undefeated. His record stands at 13 wins, no losses, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. The acclaimed former kickboxer and current undefeated IBF Jr Welterweight Champion of the World. Please welcome Sergey Lipinets.
Lipinets' camp says Lipinets could have taken 2 voluntary defenses, fought lesser opposition, but he wants to prove himself at the highest level, and it doesn't get much better than facing Mikey Garcia.
And now at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we bring our fighters to the scale. First up, the challenger in his 6th world title appearance. Please welcome the outstanding 3-division champion of the world, Mikey Garcia.
Garcia 5-0 in championship fights with 3 knockouts. Coming off a dominant victory.
139.5 pounds from Mikey Garcia, 139.5.
Coming off a dominant victory over former 4-division champ Adrian Broner.
World title, here's defending an undefeated IBF Jr Welterweight Champion of the World, Sergey Lipinets.
Garcia had a good opening to the 140-pound weight class, so he's coming in with some momentum in this title fight with Lipinets.
139 3/4 for the champion. 139 3/4 pounds for Sergey Lipinets.
The 2 principals coming in under the 140-pound limit. Sergey Lipinets defeating Akihiro Kondo for a vacant 140-pound title in his last outing. Of course, both 140-pound championships up for grabs on Saturday night were vacated by Terence Crawford, who was moved up to welterweight, 147 pounds. Crawford, just the 3rd man to unify all 4 belts, major titles in his division, along with Bernard Hopkins and Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah, quite the accomplishment.
And Mikey Garcia looking for another major accomplishment in his decorated career. Again, the current champion at 135 pounds, but wants to solidify his standing in the mythical pound-for-pound rankings, and has looked devastating since coming back with the knockout wins over Elio Rojas, the knockout of the year candidate against Dejan Zlaticanin, and then comprehensively outboxing Adrian Broner in his last fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's barely lost any rounds. He's shown the power. He's shown the wrinkles to his boxing skills. He's looked very good, and we got the stare down.
Yeah, Sergey Lipinets, the natural bigger fighter, but looking at this face-off, are you able to discern anything, Paulie, just in the way they look right now?
Well, Lipinets obviously the natural super lightweight, but Mikey Garcia seems to have grown into the weight class well. He's not too short for the weight. I think at super lightweight, he's going to still have that average height, maybe a little below average. It's when he starts moving up to welter and so on that he'll be a lot shorter than the guys.
And he has, not looking past Sergey Lipinets, but Garcia has already claimed to us he is going up to 147 eventually.
Has a few words to say for his fans here in San Antonio.
A lot of it will be decided from how he looks tomorrow.
Los invitamos a que nos acompañen mañana también por la noche, una noche de boxeo. Va a ser historia ganar este 4º campeonato mundial y aquí en qué linda tan ciudad como San Antonio. Así que les doy las gracias a todos, muchas gracias por el apoyo. Nos vemos mañana.
Thanking the fans for the support in San Antonio.
How many languages do you speak? You have Italian, English, Spanish,
That's it. I cap off there. Working on my Japanese.
Oh.
No. I wish.
I went there 32 times in 3 years with Pride Fighting Championships. I know how to say arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much.
I went there one time. I don't know how to say it.
San Antonio, a rich boxing history. Remember
And don't go
Canelo
away,
and Austin
ladies and
Trout?
gentlemen, as I remind you, 14 fights scheduled for tomorrow. We have our Showtime Extreme fighters weighing in, stepping up to the scale right now. In fact, let's continue. At this time, we present our Showtime Extreme featured attractions, 10 rounds of boxing, a super lightweight special attraction. First, please welcome to the stage from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, 23-2 with 17 knockouts. Please welcome Eudi, AK-47 Bernardo.
Yes, bonus action. Saturday night on Showtime Extreme, join Barry Tompkins and Steve Farhood, the Hall of Fame broadcast team. They are, of course, joined by Raul Marquez tonight on Showtime. Another tremendous night of fighting coming your way. But tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on Showtime Extreme, you will get an extra dose of the sweet science, all leading up to our 140-pound championship doubleheader at 10:15 Eastern and Pacific from San Antonio on Showtime Championship Boxing. The hits keep coming, Paulie. What a start to the year.
Absolutely. We've had a great schedule last year. We're getting a great start to the schedule this year. I mean, we had Errol Spence dominant in January. And Deontay Wilder
we have an opponent who is ready to step onto the stage, ready to fight tomorrow as well. He is 20-0 with 12 knockouts. Ranked the IBF number 10 contender, representing his home of San Antonio, Texas. Please welcome Mario Golden Boy Barrios.
Barrios has been a kid who's looked impressive in his career thus far. Very tall for his weight class. You know, he has a good height, which means obviously, you know, there's an opportunity for him to maybe fill out into some bigger weight classes as well. But it's been impressive thus far.
And let's bring our first fighter to the scale at this time. Once again from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, Eudi, AK-47 Bernardo. 139 3/4 pounds for Bernardo, 139 3/4 pounds. And now his opponent up to the scale, once again from San Antonio, Texas, the undefeated number 10 contender, Mario Golden Boy Barrios.
You know, Terence Crawford unified 140-pound division, and a lot of people say, well, it's not that interesting anymore. We got a lot of life to 140, especially this weekend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think once Crawford actually vacated the titles and they became available to everybody, I think it was a real battle, and everybody came out of the woodwork as far as fighting for these titles, and now you're starting to see the super lightweight division starting to open up again. We
got Regis Prograis, Julius Ndongo going at it tonight on Showtime.
Yeah. You got Amir Imam and Jose Ramirez next week. They're fighting on another network.
And our championship doubleheader Saturday night.
Championship doubleheader
and this fight here on Showtime Extreme. Couple of up-and-comers at 140. Of course, you can be a part of the conversation on social media Saturday night. Hashtag Garcia Lipinets. Mikey Garcia was gone for 2.5 years. Issues with his former promoter's Top Rank. Yes, there was talk that he may face Miguel Cotto, who was willing to go up to 154. Maybe a title unification fight with Jorge Linares. They were unable to do business, but he still feels if he wins Saturday night, he will go down to 135 for one more unification fight before going up to 147. But first things first.
Showtime Extremes featured attraction, 10 rounds of boxing, super lightweight special attraction, Mario Golden Boy Barrios versus Eudi AK-47 Bernardo.
There's a stare down for these two. As you can see, the height of Mario Barrios filling in. And again, I mean, this kid is a kid who has looked impressive throughout his career thus far. We'll see how he, if he can put a ban on the more assault weapons that AK-47 brings tomorrow night.
Ready to go right now, but we're going to have to wait until tomorrow night. It is the Showtime Extreme featured attraction. Don't miss it. Freeman Coliseum here in beautiful San Antonio, Texas.
So a championship doubleheader on Showtime Championship Boxing on Showtime, but we're also bringing you a twin bill on Show Extreme.
And we're going to move along at this time and bring our fighters to the stage for our Showtime Extreme opening attraction. It is scheduled 12 rounds of boxing. It is for an IBF lightweight world title eliminator. First to the stage, please welcome, joining us from Accra, Ghana, ranked the IBF number 3 contender. Please welcome Richard Comey.
Richard Comey, obviously a kid that has had a little bit of rough luck in his career. You know,
and we invite to the stage.
He and Curio Relic can relate.
Can definitely relate. Close loss for the IBF lightweight title to Robert Easter. Another close loss in Russia to Denis Shafikov, which maybe could have went his way if it wasn't in Russia.
Here's Alejandro Luna. A really good matchup, actually, to kick things off on Show Extreme Saturday night.
Good battle. It doesn't get any easier for Comey. You know, he's got to take on Luna tomorrow. That's a good battle, great TV fight. And the winner will get a chance at the IBF lightweight title, who is, once again, Robert Easter.
Yes.
Weight limit on this fight is 135 pounds. 134 3/4 pounds for Richard Comey, 134 3/4. And his opponent, once again from Bellflower, California, ranked number 12, Alejandro Hro Luna. £135 right at the lightweight limit for Alejandro Luna.
So no issues for any of the prize fighters who will be appearing on Show Extreme or Showtime on Saturday night from the Freeman Coliseum, as all of the individuals have made weight. And we are set for what promises to be another exciting night of Showtime boxing. And, of course, the appetizer should be a tasty treat tonight. Showtime Boxing Special Edition featuring Regis Prograis against Julius Ndongo, capping off what should be another entertaining night. That comes your way tonight. So back-to-back nights of boxing on Showtime.
Yeah, check out those Showbox fights tonight. That should be a good one. That should be a good one.
It's not rocket science, right, Paulie? When the best agree to fight the best,
you always get excited about
quality it. Fights.
Eliminator, Alejandro Luna, Richard Comey.
Well, big thank you to Hall of Fame ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. again here in the great outdoors. Paulie and I talking about our love for San Antonio, Texas. Of course, you can remember the Alamo, but there's so many historic sites. There's always a positive vibe here. The 15-mile picturesque river walk. We're in the shadow of the oldest active cathedral in America, San Fernando Cathedral. But I'm not here on behalf of the San Antonio Tourism Bureau. We're here for Showtime Championship Boxing Saturday night, the 140-pound weight class, front and center, Paulie. Let's talk about Mikey Garcia, who is everyone considers him a part of that mythical top 10 pound-for-pound list. He's a 3-division champion, current title holder at 135. He's already shown that he can compete at 140 in his last couple of outings, and now he steps up to challenge another undefeated fighter in Sergey Lipinets.
You know, he had a dominant performance against Adrian Bronner. And say what you will against Adrian Bronner, it's not that he's still never an easy guy to deal with. You know, Mikey, especially, who had been a guy who hadn't fought at super lightweight yet. So there was always the question mark of how would Bronner's power at super lightweight, which has been better than it has been at welterweight, how would Mikey deal with that? You know, and Mikey got through the fight with flying colors. He outworked him. He outskilled him. It was a top performance and really an eye-opening performance for Mikey Garcia. And I think this is why he comes into tomorrow night's fight with Sergey Lipinets on such a high, where so many experts are probably picking him to win the fight.
Yeah, he's a favorite.
Is because, he had such a dominant performance against Bronner, who was, pretty much at this point a legitimate super lightweight, and dominated him, hit him so well that now people are starting to wonder, wow, he's carrying up skill, he's carrying up good power. At what point, maybe he's going to keep going up in weight. He's a kind of a marvel to watch, because he's really technically so fundamentally sound, and he doesn't break his concentration. He's always in the fight, concentrated, setting traps, fundamentally so terrific, and then his power has carried thus far. So let's see how he keeps going. And tomorrow will go a long way into showing us if the welterweight talk is just gibberish or if it's for real. He's got to win, but win impressively tomorrow night if there is any chance of people taking him seriously moving up to welterweight division.
What are the keys to victory for Garcia against Lipinets Saturday?
I think Garcia just has to be consistent. That's been his bread and butter throughout his career. Be consistent. You got a tough, mentally strong guy in front of you. Eastern Europeans tend to come in very mentally strong, and they're regimented, So Garcia just has to, he's got that creativity. I think he has the creativity. You would give him that advantage over Lipinets, the creativity Mikey has. But also, you don't know how much the power is going to translate to super lightweight yet. He wasn't able to stop Broner, but he was able to get Broner's respect. We'll see how much he's able to get Lipinets' respect. I think Lipinets would rather go out on his back than just give Mikey the title on points. So I think the guy like Lipinets, guys like the Eastern Europeans, they'll go out fighting. So things could turn ugly, so to speak. Things could get fiery tomorrow night if Mikey's having his way. I don't expect Lipinets to just hand it to him.
Yeah, Garcia used to a more deliberate start throughout his career, but we have seen in his last 2 fights especially that he's got that engine running right from the start. It's been more offensive. Is that the path to success against a guy like Lipinets, who's going to be right there? He's going to come forward.
Well, he's been very confident throughout his career. I think one thing we saw from Lipinets' last fight is he's able to fight on the back foot too. Against Takahiro Kondo, the Japanese contender, he was a lot of times he's fighting going back off the jab and whatnot. To mild success. We'll see if you start seeing Lipinets back up straight away, it's probably because he's got some amount of respect for Mikey's power. So we'll get a chance to see just how much Mikey's power is to be respected tomorrow night, just based on the way Lipinets reacts. It doesn't mean Mikey didn't carry up power just because he doesn't knock out Lipinets. Also, the way Lipinets reacts to Mikey, the way he starts fighting, if he starts fighting a defensive shell, sort of like Broner did, if he's able to start backing up more and more, that also goes to show you that there is respect for the power coming at you. So Mikey, I think, just has to have that consistency with the fundamentals and land that kind of power. Lipinets just has to try to break that. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do things to break that, and he's mentally strong himself. He'll make it a physical fight. You're the physically bigger fighter. You're the natural super lightweight. Try to make the fight a bit physical. Yeah, Lipinets has a nice jab. We saw him use it on the back foot last fight, but I think he's got to make this fight a little bit more physical. Maybe get in the trenches a little bit and see if Mikey can handle it at the new weight class.
So what, in keeping with that theme for Sergey Lipinets, then, what is the one big key that he has to accomplish in order to be successful Saturday night?
I like this thing. He's got to be physical because he's the natural super lightweight. So in the physical trenches, Mikey is a Mexican fighter, but he doesn't have that textbook Mexican style where he's physical. He's actually a fundamentally terrific boxer, and he doesn't, even when he's banging, he's not really sloppy. You know what I'm saying? I think Lipinets has to try to make it a little sloppy, try to make it a little physical, and maybe his natural size, the fact that he's a natural super lightweight and Mikey's the guy coming up in weight, will maybe translate to some success for him.
And, of course, Mikey Garcia looking to join future Hall of Famers Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao as being champions at 126, 130, 135, and now 140. That's the main event on Saturday night, Showtime Championship Boxing. Speaking of the 140-pound weight class, we will kick things off with another 140-pound championship match, another title vacated by Terence Crawford. It's a rematch from a fight last May that you saw on Showtime Championship Boxing. Cuban Rances Barthelemy undefeated against the twice-beaten Kirill Relic, but controversy was the talk of the first fight. Our colleague Al Bernstein, as diplomatic as they come, one of the fairest broadcasters you will ever come across, he called the scores outrageous. How did you see the first fight involving Relic and Barthelemy?
I think that fight was competitive. I thought Relic could have been given the decision.
Much closer than the scorecards.
Regardless of who you think won the fight, the scorecards are just horrendous. I mean, that was not a good night for the Maryland Commission between the referee and the Darrell Uskatigi fight the same night, and then the decisions, the judges in the Barthelemy and Relic fight. So, you'd hope to think here in Texas.
Although we are in Texas, which I've called the cauldron of controversy when we called Austin Trout and Canelo.
You hope to see that the judges are more in favor of what's actually happening. You don't want to be in favor of any particular fight, more in favor of what's actually happening.
We often take the sanctioning bodies to task. We take umbrage with a lot of their decisions, rightfully so. And yet we have to applaud the WBA in ordering the immediate rematch. As they saw the fight, they agreed that the scores were egregious. So now, that's in our rear view. Saturday night, Rances Barthelemy looking to make history, trying to become the first Cuban to win 3 titles in 3 different weight classes. He has brought in Bob Santos as a strength and conditioning coach. He admitted that Relic hits like a tank. Barthelemy admitted he wasn't at his best, that his legs weren't under him from the get-go, that he was sluggish. Now bringing in Bob Santos, what do you expect from Barthelemy on Saturday?
Well, you hope that the additions to the team. Anytime a fighter makes additions, that they're gonna help, be it physical or mental or both. You know, sometimes you get that physical addition. Maybe you'll bring in a strength trainer, or you'll bring in a different pad guy, or you'll even change that trainer. Who knows? Regardless of what it is, the difference is obviously athletes obviously have to show from a physical standpoint, but also that they're going to be bringing in from a mental standpoint, because the fighter, to bring in somebody new, obviously he believes himself that he needs that something new. So the confidence also comes into factor.
Kirill Relik, I mean, he felt he was robbed in the first fight, says that he's going to start much more aggressively, that he's not going to leave it to the judges. Again, Barthelemy yet to be defeated. Talk about Relik's path to success on Saturday night.
Well, Relik needs to be physical, and Relik needs to force the pace. One thing about Barthelemy, he likes to fight in spots. He doesn't like to fight outside of his comfort zone. Barthelemy likes to bide his time, pick his spots, move around, shift around, maybe change stances, put their own combination, sift around, confuse you, which the confusion will buy him time. Relik can't buy it. Barthelemy sells you a lot of wolf tickets. You know what I'm saying? He's selling you basically a lot of illusions out there. You know what I'm saying? That it's not really there. And in the meantime, what he's doing is he's able to rest here and rest there.
You've suddenly morphed into Nick Diaz, the great MMA fighter.
So what he's trying to do is basically bide his time, so that when it is time to fight, he has the full energy enough to shoot. He doesn't want to fight all 3 minutes every round. Relik wants to fight more consistently, so Relik has to believe in himself. He can't buy those illusions that Barthelemy sells him, which in a lot of spots he did buy in the first fight. Some of the moments he didn't, were the moments he gave Barthelemy trouble. So I think the key to beating Barthelemy is to make him physically uncomfortable, and that will make him mentally uncomfortable. How do you do that? By making him fight in larger spots of the 3 minutes each round.
And you know the winner of Barthelemy Relik will have their eyes on the main event and would love to have an opportunity to partially unify the 140-pound title against the winner of Mikey Garcia and Sergey Lipinets. So this weekend, it's brought to you by the number 140. As always, look forward to your expert analysis. My paisano will be joined by Al Bernstein ringside. But again, it's all about the junior welterweight division beginning tonight, as Regis Prograis and Julius Ndongo will battle in a main event at 140 on Showtime Special Edition. And then Saturday night, the 140-pounders are also doing battle on Show Extreme at 8 o'clock. Join Hall of Fame broadcast team Barry Tompkins and Steve Farhood for that. And then at 10:15 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, we want you to join Brian Custer, yours truly, Mauro Ranallo, Paulie Malignaggi, Al Bernstein, and Jim Gray as we bring you a 140-pound championship doubleheader. Rances Barthelemy looking to become the first Cuban to win 3 titles in 3 different weight classes against Kirill Relik in a rematch for a vacant 140-pound title. And then the main event, Mikey Garcia challenges undefeated champion at junior welterweight Sergey Lipinets, who is 13-0, so won his title rather quickly after over 500 amateur fights as a kickboxer and a professional kickboxing title. Lipinets making the transition to the sweet science, and it's been successful thus far. Mikey Garcia, though, wants to be a 4-division champion. Please join us Saturday night from the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, only on Showtime Championship Boxing.
2006.